Saper scegliere è una delle cose più importanti nella vita. Scegliere però significa preferire alcune opzioni a discapito.
Knowing how to make the right choice is one of the most important things in life. However, choosing also means letting go of some options that might not have been so bad. Think of a shipyard with a hull that you could build dozens and dozens of different boats. And if on the one hand, the right to choose is sacred, on the other hand, having to choose can be a burden or sometimes a pity. And Tesoro Yachts knows this very well, which is why they leave you the honour of making your own choice. It's from the lines of the T38 where a new model is born, the Tesoro Yachts T40, and today I'm in Cannes to test it. Welcome to the Boat Show. The concept is always that of a walk-around with decisive and Mediterranean lines, just like the ones of its little sister, the T38. I say little because although the hull is the same, the new T40 measures 12.36 centimetres overall. That is 58 centimetres more than the T38. How is this possible? Secret lines in this large swimming platform, which measure 1.47 metres, something that is possibly only on this model. In this case, the boat is set up with inboard engines, an option only possible on the T40. Yet there is also the possibility of having outboard engines, which does not prevent another exclusive option of this model, that is the 3-movement, high-low hydraulic stern platform. This is possible because the engines would remain in the centre, inside their own compartment, allowing the huge stern locker, now used as an engine room, to be used as storage. A sun deck, larger than that of the T38, occupies the aft area of the cockpit, which can be covered by a retractable electric awning in the hardtop and, as we are now used to seeing, the reclining backrests transform this area into a forward-facing seat of the living space. Here, by opening the table, 8 people can eat comfortably. Plus it feels good to hang out in the shade of the hardtop and of the electric awning. Although sometimes on the hottest days the shade is not enough, and this is a gem of this boat. On request you can have the water misting system installed right here on the hardtop, and at that point the heat problem disappears. And if after eating you would like to go back to sunbathing, well, just lower the table and this sun deck becomes gigantic. Behind the pilot's seat we find one of the most pronounced differences between the two models, namely the superstructure and its anchoring. Yes, because if on the T38 the T-top merged with the deck here, on the new T40 the anchorage is on the sides, leaving free this area that can be used as a minibar or excellent for installing a pop-up TV. From here to the bow, the boat is designed like its younger sister, that is, with the classic 2 passageways of the walk-around that converge on both sides in a large bow sun deck, which is raised by 2 steps above the deck. Both passageways are comfortable from 50 to 70 centimetres wide towards the bow. The sides reach 95 centimetres from the walking surface, which means that they allow great safety in the passage from stern to bow, especially during navigation. The inside environment is characterised by 4 beds that, upon request, can be separated in 2 separate cabins. Always there is a hallway and a bathroom with a separate shower. The aft cabin is set up with 2 single beds that can be joined to create a second maxi double bed. The height between the mattresses and the ceiling is 95 centimetres in the cabin at the bow, while in the aft the cabin it's 65 centimetres. Consider that in the hallway of this 40-footer, the maximum height is 2.10 metres. This is one of the options offered by the shipyard to the public, but Tesoro Yachts declares to be open to any type of possible customisation, starting from the interior finishes, such as the wood and marble effects that characterise the bathroom, with a possible addition of devices such as the mirror TV in the forward cabin, or even the choice of hull colour. Just think that a ship owner wanted it to be the same colour as his car, that is a blue Tour de France Ferrari. So let's just say that the only limit that exists is that of your imagination. And now comes my favourite part, the one where the engines roar and I have fun.
Con l'esperienza acquisita con la costruzione del T38, questo cantiere
With the experience gained with the construction of the T38, this shipyard has refined even more of its technological skills in the construction of the hulls. In fact, this hull, that of the T40, was built with a particular resin, a graphene resin, which, together with the structural solidity of the PVC sandwich deck, makes this whole boat a solid monolith.
Un'altra cosa fondamentale da ricercare quando siamo a bordo di una nuova imbarcazione è più...
Another important thing that we have to figure out when we're on board a new boat is more or less to understand where the barycenter is. Well, let's say that in this case the inboard engines help us a lot here because compared to outboard engines, they lower the weight of the engine to the maximum and bring it more to the center of the boat. So what could raise the barycenter of this boat? Obviously the T-top. Here too, however, Tesoro Yachts has prevented the problem. How? By using the lightest possible material to build the T-top, which is in carbon.
Questo hardtop in particolare si chiama...
This T-top in particular is called Cullinan, and it is the new T-top by Tesoro Yachts, which merges with the boat through the bulwarks and, thanks to its structure, does not require other support points and therefore leaves the helm station completely free. So let's head towards the open seas and let's start testing how this boat navigates, which in the end is the most important thing. At 2,300 RPM, our speed is 21 knots. An optimal cruising speed for this boat would be around 20 or 25 knots. It all depends on how much you want to consume.
Per ora niente male,
Not bad up until now. The only flaw, there isn't much visibility there in front of the bow, so I have to adjust the trim by regulating the stern drives a bit.
La barca si stende sull'acqua in una maniera...
The boat stretches out on the water in a better way. Let's give it some more gas, reaching 25 knots. This is the ideal setting for a nice cruise with the new T40 by Tesoro Yachts. According to the shipyard, with these 880 horsepower engines, the T40 can reach up to 43 knots. So as always, today I have two main goals. The first one is to reach them, and the second one is to pass them. At 3,300 RPM for each engine, 36 knots. 3,600 RPM, 38 knots.
3.700 giri minuto, abbiamo superato i...
3,700 RPM. We have passed 43 knots and now we have reached the first goal.
Sistemiamo un pochino il trim.
By adjusting the trim a bit, we're at 44 knots. 44.5 knots and 45 knots. You are incredible, Tesoro Yachts.
Grande Tesoro Yacht. Se questo però non vi bastasse, sarete molto contenti di sapere che tra pochissimo...
However, if this wasn't enough for you, then you'll be very happy to know that soon there'll be the launch of a new division of the Tesoro Yachts shipyard. It will be called Isurus by Tesoro. It's a division of high-performance center control boats, and they promise to reach speeds of over 70 knots. I can't wait to try it out, but in the meantime, I'm enjoying this one.